You're ambassadors for Christ. While the whole culture around you may be going just crazy, a circus, freak show, you, called by the name of Jesus, bought by the blood of the Lamb, as a 15-year-old can walk down a hallway and show what it is to be the redeemed of the Lord. That is your assignment. If we keep our eye on that, maybe the distractions won't be there so heavily. They're going to be there, but not in force. I was big in the 80s and 90s watching televangelists, and a lot of you know the names that rocked our world when their sexual misconduct came out. 1990s, another man came out, and he was stepping out of his marriage in a homosexual sin. Then you go to 2002, the Catholic Church ends up being exposed for a huge sex abuse scandal to kids and how they had a systemic problem covering that up. Go to 2020, the Pentecostal churches like Hillsong and many others actually uncovered sexual misconduct among their leaders. Ravi Zacharias, after he died in 2020, the one who rocked us all because he wasn't that Pentecostal charismatic guy, he was just a Christian apologist, solid teacher. And posthumously, we found out that he was basically manipulating employees to give him sexual favors. 2022, the Southern Baptist Convention ordered an external investigation that showed that they also had a problem covering up their denomination's reputation and covering up sex abuse in their denomination. If you didn't catch it, the enemy in temptation is no respecter of denominations or churches. He doesn't care if you're Pentecostal on TV, Catholic, Baptist, it does not matter. He is wanting to destroy those who call the name of the Lord their Lord. The numbers are bad among ministers. Got to be honest with you. The numbers of ministers who've had an affair or in an affair, viewing things they shouldn't view is bad. But before you start judging us, I want you to know the numbers don't get better in the pews. Sexual misconduct is rampant among God's people. So with that in mind, I come to you pretty heavy, and I've got to move pretty fast through this. But David gives us, if nothing else, a caution. For some of you, it's going to be a huge yellow light this morning, just a caution. And for others, it's going to be a slap in the face in correction. And you say, well, who are you? Well, outside of this moment right here, I'm just Chad. I'm just a dude. But in this moment, I'm the man of God called to preach the word to you, and I'm bringing it. And you can take that how you want to take it. Number one, how could David do this? How could a man anointed by God from a teenager to be the king, the worshiper, the one who writes poetry and songs to God, how could David do this? He lost sight of his assignment before he caught sight of temptation. Verse 1 of chapter 11 says, in the spring of the year when kings normally go out to war, David sent Joab and his men to go fight. And while they fought the Ammonite army and laid siege to the city of Rabbah, David stayed behind in Jerusalem. While kings were supposed to be on the battlefield, this king decided to stay back and recline. And if he would have been where he was supposed to be, he would not have had this moment of temptation. But he forgot he had an assignment on his life and a calling on his life that was bigger and higher and more important than anything around him. If he would have been on the battlefield, he would have never seen Bathsheba bathing. That's hard, Bathsheba bathing. But because I want to know, where was the kid that was fighting Goliath that said, I want the world to know there is a God in Israel? Where's that kid who wanted every army, every soldier to know that the Lord has us? The battle is the Lord, not ours. Where's that guy? And it shows us that even though he's made it to king now, the enemy doesn't stop coming after you've made it to your appointment. He's still coming at you when you've reached that place you know you were called to reach. But because he lost sight of his assignment, he's on a rooftop when he should have been on a horse out there. And because he's on the rooftop, that's why he saw Bathsheba bathing. And I need to pause and let you know you all have a divine assignment. Every man in here with a wife and kids, you have an assignment to lead your home and to raise up godly children in a godless world and to make sure that your home is a refuge and a sanctuary of holiness. It is you as the man that's to guard what comes through your TV. You as a man who's to guard the friends your kids have. That is your assignment. And if you'll keep your eye on the ball of your assignment, maybe you won't have time to be distracted by thirst traps on social media. If you'll keep an eye on the ball of your assignment, maybe you won't care of that little sweet thing on the job that's trying to get your attention. Every mama in here, you have an assignment to be a godly mama. You're not supposed to get the attention of other men at the gym. Your assignment is to be holy and to show your daughters what it is to live right, dress right, talk right, and how to love her husband. And if you get caught away from that assignment, if you get distracted, that's when you care who's sliding in your DMs. But if you keep your eye on the assignment, you don't have time for all this other stuff. As teenagers in high school and college campuses and junior high, you have an assignment. You're ambassadors for Christ. While the whole culture around you may be going just crazy, a circus, freak show, you, called by the name of Jesus, bought by the blood of the Lamb, as a 15-year-old can walk down a hallway and show what it is to be the redeemed of the Lord. That is your assignment. And if we keep our eye on that, maybe the distractions won't be there so heavily. They're going to be there, but not in force.